I'm watching you, Kat. I got my eye on you. Okay. Hi. I'm back. Do no no do no no. Back in black. Okay. Rich Rising. Zoe Flowers here. Something's wrong with me. Back with another reading. Actually got to do it early today, which makes me very happy. Okay. So let's see where we be, y'all. Let's see where we be. Okay, these are the ones we've done already. Perfect. Right. All right. Who is our Women's History card of the day? Let's see. I hope you're having a great Friday. Thank you. Oh, I'm here for it. The Chariot. You will not take me off my chariot. Shout out to Mariah from Married to Medicine. Okay. Yo, it is so cold and windy. Oh my God. I just got finished doing a meditation for this women's empowerment symposium a few minutes ago. And it got so windy and so cold that my screen blew over in the middle of the meditation. Thank God they weren't recording it and that they had their eyes closed. Okay. The Chariot. The Chariot. This is good. I like where we're going with these. There we go. Let's see. 10. The Lovers, the Chariot. Here we go. Harriet Tubman. Okay. Key aspects. Motivation, momentum, travel, willpower. This is amazing. Ooh, and tomorrow's is going to be good too. There's some good things going on. So the momentum is rising. It started at the beginning of the week. And really for me, I knew that March was going to be, how do I put this? I knew that March was going to be a shift. I knew that March was going to start a shift, a turn, a change in the energy. Because for me, my new year starts in March, as do many people who observe different healing practices. Our new year is in March. But even more than that, just what's happening planetarily, I knew that March was going to be, I can't get the word, like I'm saying turning point, but it's something more than that. Anyway, let's get into this. Okay, so Harriet Tubman was born in 1820. She transitioned in 1913 in these United States. So, abolitionist and political activist Harriet Tubman, pioneering work with the Underground Railroad network of secret routes and safe houses, not only helped some 300 African Americans escape to freedom in the Free States, Canada, and Nova Scotia, but also made her one of the most recognized and inspiring figures in American history. I just need to do a little sidebar here because I want to look at her birth chart. I want to know what's going on in her 10th house. 10th house is what you will be known for in this life. So I want to know what her birth chart is giving. Okay. All right. I guess because of the storm that's here, the internet is kind of slow. All right, Harriet Tubman birth chart. Let's see. Okay, that's whack. All right, I'm going to have to look in a minute because these are giving me all stupid sites. Okay. All right, fine. Harriet, born Araminta, aka Minty Ross, began her life on a Maryland plantation. Like other slaves, she endured frequent whipping and was made to work, even when she was ill. When she was around 12, she interceded when she saw an overseer throw a heavy metal weight at a fugitive slave, which then struck Harriet in the head. She suffered an injury that ultimately resulted in her having headaches, narcoleptic episodes, vivid dreams, and visions throughout the rest of her life. A devout Christian, she regarded these dreams and visions as revelations from God. In 1840, her father was set free by his owner, but Harriet, her siblings, and her mother were not, as they were owned by a different family. In 1844, Harriet married a free black man, John Tubman, and took her mother's first name in her honor. In 1849, Harriet fell ill with severe headaches that stemmed from her childhood injury. Her owner attempted to sell her but couldn't find a buyer as her illness diminished her perceived value. Even as he did this, Harriet prayed for him. As Harriet told biographer Sarah Bradford in 1886, and so as I lay so sick in my bed from Christmas till March. Was she resurrected in March? And we were just talking about March. I was also praying for my poor old massa. She begged God to change his ways, to turn him into a compassionate person who would not buy and sell human beings. I wish I could get this birth chart. This is so irritating to me. In the fall of 1849, Harriet and her two brothers decided to escape. However, the men had second thoughts and turned back, forcing Harriet to return with them. Not long after that, Harriet escaped again, this time on her own. She traveled by foot in the dark of night, using the North Star to guide her, and hiding during the day with the help of the Underground Railroad. When she crossed into Pennsylvania, she was free. In Pennsylvania, she found work as a paid domestic servant. A year later, in 1850, Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act rather than grant liberty to any slave residing in a free state. This act decreed that anyone who had escaped slavery was a fugitive, no matter what state they were in. Harriet felt it was her calling to help as many people gain freedom as she could. She risked returning to Maryland to free family members as well as other slaves more than a dozen times between 1850 and 1858. She carried a small pistol with her on missions, mostly to protect herself and others in her group from slave catchers, but she also used it to prevent the weak hearted from turning back and jeopardizing the safety of others. In 1861, can we just talk about that for a minute? I mean, I know many of us, we know these stories. This isn't new. But she had a pistol because she was like, you're not going to go back. You're not going to go back and potentially tell people what we doing out here with a gun. In 1861, the American Civil War began. William Seward, U.S. Secretary of State, whose New York home had been a stop along the Underground Railroad, recruited Harriet as part of the Union's effort to gather intelligence on and undermine the Confederacy. She worked in the Union military camps in South Carolina, assisted escaped slaves and nursing soldiers. She also worked as a spy. She had a band of scouts throughout the swamplands of South Carolina gathering information about the whereabouts of Confederate forces while she helped map the unknown terrain. That same year, she led the armed assault on a group of plantations situated along the Combahee River. Oh, I went to this Combahee collective. The information she gathered enabled her to guide the Union steamboat down the river without setting off Confederate mines. After the Union troops came ashore, they set fire to the plantations. The steamboats sounded their whistles, alerting the slaves on the plantations to make their escape. More than 750 slaves were rescued during the Combahee River raid. When the war ended, Harriet returned to Auburn, New York, which she now called home. William Siebert had illegally sold her some land and a two-story brick house there for a small fee in 1859. Even though it was difficult for her financially, Harriet made her home a haven for freed slaves who were trying to make new lives for themselves. To earn money, she used her knack for making pies and root beer, selling both to her community. Harriet also used her renown as a platform to promote women's suffrage and civil rights. At the first meeting of the National Colored Women's Association in 1896, she was the keynote speaker. In Harriet Tubman, A Legacy of Resistance, Janelle Hobson writes, notably, she was a profound storyteller, and it was her own crafting of her legendary status that emerged from her involvement in feminist work. Tubman became an inspiration to the next generation of Black feminists who had gathered in national context. At the end of her life, Harriet lived in a rest home, her stay funded by donations as she had given her own money away over the years to help others. Surrounded by her loved ones, Harriet spoke these fitting last words: I go to prepare a place for you. Wow. Harriet Tubman's dream was to obtain personal freedom and to help others do the same despite life threatening challenges. Similarly, the Chariot represents the will to take the steps toward fulfilling a dream, even if you encounter obstacles along the way. These cards are speaking to me. No matter what we're going through, every single card is like charting, like from the week before last till like really since I got these cards are so on point. The card signals a forthcoming rush of energy, one that will propel you toward your goal. See, we're almost there. Whatever it is, like I got big dreams. Q. Debbie Allen. But it's like we are getting there. We are getting there. I'd love to know what your dreams are. Like, what are you working towards? Because the chariot is here. I can't even remember what it was last night, but it was another good one last night too. Um, oh, last night was the Nine of Pentacles. Yo, it's finna be on. It's finna be on. Last night, last week, it was really about personal freedom, getting through it, especially the week before last was like getting through obstacles and doing that. And now it's like we are on the upswing. Like I'm a Capricorn rising. And so it's like I'm that seagull right now, climbing up the mountains, like clawing my hoofed feet up the rickety mountain called life, right? Are you there with me? Are you on this chariot? The ancestors have already prepared a way. She said, I go to prepare a place for you. The ancestors have already laid out the groundwork in so many ways. They've already laid out the framework in so many ways, but it is our job to take our place in society. I am feeling that. I am feeling that. This card signals a forthcoming rush of energy, one that will propel you toward your goal. In the upright position, which this card indicates a successful journey. If the card is reversed, you may find that you're feeling restrained and unable to make progress. Well, it wasn't, so we don't care about that. The Chariot asks, what is the next action you must take toward achieving your desired outcome? Well, I have to think about that. I made my list for what I wanted to accomplish in this first quarter, I am happy to say that I have accomplished everything on my list for the first quarter. I made a summary list for what I want the second quarter to look like, the third, whatever for the year, right? But this year I approached this year very differently. I approached this year because the fourth quarter for me was really scary. Like I almost died. And so not of COVID. And so I went into the hospital on the first day of Scorpio season. So I literally was like almost dead and reborn. And so I decided that I was going to enter 2021 gingerly, carefully, not doing too damn much. Like I was like a little kid, you know, when your mama take you to the grocery store and she like, don't touch nothing, don't look at shit, like just go in quietly. That's how I entered 2021, like who all over there, right? So I did a little planning for the year, right? Because I was still healing. So what are the next actions you must take towards your desired outcome? So what I need to do now is I need to look at the second quarter. I need to look at my plans for the second quarter. That's what I need to do and see what needs to be adjusted. If you don't have a passion planner, get you one. What, if anything, has you feeling immobilized? And what can you do to improve the situation so you can move forward? I know definitely what has me feeling immobilized. How will you focus your mental and physical energy in order to complete that action? Those are all great questions. So, this is what the Chariot is asking us. This is great. Obviously, we have some more work to do, but I'm super excited. I'm super glad. Please like, share, and subscribe my videos to help me get around these obstacles set by analytics and white supremacy. And if nobody told you today, you are loved and you deserve love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.